It's September 9th, 2019, and here are your brand new board game releases from the last week or so that are available for purchase now.
Yellow has the newest game for its 8-bit box system titled Double Rumble. If you don't know, the 8-bit box is supposed to simulate a video game system with different games being added to it using the controllers provided in the original system. Double Rumble uses the game style and plays off the original fighting games that you may have spent too many quarters on in arcades. We have Architectura from Hobby World and Arcane Wonders. In this game, you are rebuilding a city while also trying to raise similar properties when you place a card, or maybe lower the value of properties of your opponent's cards. We have the Arkham Horror LCG Return to the Path of Carcosa, the Return series being the more difficult versions of previous sets, this time the Carcosa, so you get some additional cards to help your investigators, but you will have a much harder time reaching the end. We have Black Angel. This was actually released last week. This has actually been a very hot topic game in which you are all rival AIs trying to decide the fate of humanity in the stars. We have an expansion for Clank titled Clank Expeditions, Temple of the Ape Lords. This will have you go into the jungle in order to find said temple, and in order to get the sweet treasures within inside, you will have to fight off mechanized ape guardians. Finally, we have two games being re-released into a more modern format. We've got Conspiracy, the Solomon Gambit, which is an old game being brought into new styles, which has you move agents around Europe in order to deliver a briefcase, but adds a couple new rules in order to stop stalemates that may have been an issue in the older title. But we've also got Diamonds from Stronghold, this one being a second edition of the original game.
Eternal Chronicles of the Throne is a new release from Direwolf Digital based on the world of their Eternal digital game. This one is a competitive deck building game. We have a whole interview with someone from Direwolf from Gen Con you can find on our channel. I recommend you look at that for more information on this unique take on the deck building genre. Jaws is available widely now, of course based on the famous Steven Spielberg movie. One player is the shark. Everyone else is on the boat trying to stop him. It's a hidden movement game with a combat phase. Interesting stuff if you're a fan of that film. The newest Legendary release from Upper Deck is Legendary, a James Bond deck building game. Uses the traditional Legendary format, not an encounters entry, and of course features James Bond. James Bond films from old and new, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, 4 of them are in there for you to play with. Mental Blocks comes from Pandasaurus. This is an interesting puzzle game in which players are trying to arrange blocks of different shapes and colors in the right way, but they only have a card that shows them one perspective of it. So you have to work together with people at different sides of the table to arrange them in the proper format. Smash Up has a new expansion, World Tour Culture Shock. You've got 5 brand new factions in this one, most of them based on fairy tales or lore of some kind. There's Anansi tales, Grimm's fairy tales, Russian fairy tales, ancient Incas, and Polynesian voyagers. So some interesting factions to mix things up in your Smash Up games. Star Wars Legion has the Imperial Shore Troopers expansion. These are the guys you probably saw in Rogue One. They're like stormtroopers but with weirder helmets, and I think they specialize in beach territory. And then lastly, it's Thieves' Den from Daily Magic. This is an interesting worker placement drafting game. Players are thieves playing locations that they want to rob, but if you want to rob someone else's location that they played, you may be helping them if you choose to go to that location. A lot of releases. Some of these are carryovers from last week because there weren't too many last week to talk about.
Quite a bit, I think, had some kind of talk during Gen Con too. So
yeah, that's usually how it goes, I think. Like pretty much September, October, November, there's going to be those big Gen Con games hitting.
There are a couple, not the release, we know Tapestry wasn't at Gen Con.
That's true.
So there may be a few surprises here and there. We actually played a couple of these. Legendary is the big one that we've really sunk our teeth in with the James Bond. And it was definitely different, I feel, compared to other. It's not part of the Encounter series. If you don't know, the Encounter's more of the definitely all co-op in.
Right, but this one I think took some more cues from that than most of them do, so that was an interesting one. Jaws I've been waiting for a while to try. I mean, a lot of people have said it's good, although I think it might be really good for a game based on Jaws, but probably I don't know if I have to wait to see if it's like really good or if it's the license.
If you really want, you can just play the new Shark Simulator game.
That'll be good too. And Black Angel is another was a big blind spot for me at least.
Yeah, apparently that's one of the hottest games talked about right now. Neither of us tried it out at Gen Con. It seems to be the thing that the big thing we need to make sure we get a chance to maybe take a look at before the year ends. I think that might be a game that's going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists.
Yeah. I also really like the sound of mental blocks. That sounds fun. Like depending on what cards you have, some of them might not show you the colors of the blocks, or they might not show you the actual which ones are in front of the others, and you have to figure that out.
You play that game, and the one colorblind person gets the one with colors.
Yeah, that probably is a real concern for that one. A lot of interesting stuff, and of course some expansions. Double Rumble too, I'm interested in, because that's the first. I think that's the first expansion for 8-Bit Box. Maybe there was one other one before that. I can't keep track, but it's interesting how that works, with new games for the system and everything.
Yeah, it is a very cute idea.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, which of these games are you looking forward to? What have you maybe bought or saving your money for something coming up soon? Talk to us.
Let us know if we should be trying to hunt down the Black Angel, or is it all just hype?
Yeah, that's right. Talk to us, people.
Let us know in the comments down below. But until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Roll for Crit.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Thank you for being a friend. Subscribe to our channel and back again.
Okay.